With all the power from the tower, this is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, VON Radio, from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
From the VON Newsline, this is the VON Major Newscast.
Good evening, I am Tashan Tyson, in with your VON Major News package for today, Thursday, 10th January 2019. In our lead stories, nationally, national weight loss campaign to be launched here in Nevis, and radiation therapy to begin here in Nevis according to urologist Dr. Dwayne Thwaites. Regionally, Bermuda government highlights drop in gun crime. Internationally, U.S. to expel every last Iranian boot from Syria, so says U.S. Secretary of State. And in sports, Hamilton to lead Cricket West Indies Presidents 11 against England. We'll have the details of these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, VON.
Welcome back on other national news in detail. A national weight loss campaign is set to be launched here in Nevis. The initiative is being undertaken by Mr. David Walwyn, founder and manager of Fit Wellness Center and Fit Games here in Nevis, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. The campaign is expected to be launched on Saturday, 26th January 2019 at the Fit Park located at Bath Plain. This comes on the heels of an announcement made last year by Mr. Walwyn of their aim to combat and spread awareness of non-communicable diseases here in the Federation in August 2018.
Ideally, we are getting everyone to sign up, and collectively, we'll set a number. We don't know what that number is, but in my head, I'm thinking I would like to have at least 100,000 pounds as a collective number that everyone contributes to lose island-wide. And so the idea is to get as many people signed up for the National Weight Loss Campaign.
This information was also provided by Mr. Walwyn.
We have assembled a team of experts, doctors, nutritionists, fitness experts, even psychologists. We have developed a whole website for this where people can have online interaction. Diet plans will be given daily, diet tips. They can go on and have interaction on this sort of online portal and have interaction with all the experts to get advice, answers questions about their weight loss process. It's a full comprehensive deal. Anyone will pay a couple $1,000 for this kind of support, and we are doing it for free. Registration is free, and we are encouraging everyone to go sign up.
Mr. David Walwyn. Interested persons can register online at fitnevis.website. It is better to put a finger in than a foot in the grave. And that is the advice from urologist Dr. Dwayne Thwaites ahead of the 13th annual prostate screening drive slated for Saturday, 12th January 2019. The screening is being hosted by Urology Associates and will be held at occasions at Pinnis from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. According to Dr. Thwaites, treatment will be provided to individuals who show signs of prostate cancer.
We do follow-up care after we do the examination, so each and everyone will come and see me. And then if we need to do any treatment options, again, the doctors are available in the U.S. because we don't do robotic surgery here. So Dr. Caruso does most of our robotic surgery.
He also disclosed that plans have been made to begin radiation therapy on the island.
We're in the process of doing our first set of radiation therapy in Nevis coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Everything is set up thanks to the Nevis Island government and the permanent secretary, Nicole. She has been instrumental in helping us set up a program to do radiation in Nevis itself, and one of the forerunners of radiation therapy for prostate cancer in the Caribbean itself, because not many of the islands do radiation therapy.
Dr. Dwayne Thwaites. Some 622 men were screened in January 2016, 578 in 2017, and 587 in 2018. A workshop on sensory processing difficulties in children will be conducted on St. Kitts Friday 11th January. The workshop will be held at the University of Medicine and Health Sciences. It's being conducted by occupational therapist Dr. Pilar Sa and Dr. Cheryl Russin, autism spectrum disorder specialist. Dr. Sa is expected to deliver a lecture which will introduce sensory processing and explain how to identify children who are having difficulty processing sensory information. According to a release from the Ministry of Education on St. Kitts, sensory processing difficulties occur in 1 out of 20 children and can affect their overall development in the areas of behavior, play, social and emotional participation, motor control, as well as the ability to dress, eat, and to do other basic tasks independently. Following Friday's event, there will be a session on Saturday, 12th January, where assessments will be conducted with children from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the grounds of the Industrial Care Center, St. Kitts. The project is sponsored by the Rotary Club and supported by the Ministry of Education and the St. Kitts Spectrum Services Center. The total number of business licenses issued under the Unity Administration 2015-2018 is approximately 40% more than the number that was issued during the last 4 years of the previous Labour-led administration, 2011 to 2014. That's according to data from the Inland Revenue Department, RID. Between 2011 and 2014, 1,284 business licenses were issued, compared with 1,795 between 2015 and 2018. For the period 2011 to 2018, the number of newly registered businesses classified as retail shops and stores, except liquor, peaked in 2018 at 65, compared with 30 in 2011. Since the year 2015, new business licenses issued have exceeded the 400 mark annually for the first time in history. In 2016, the number of business licenses issued peaked at 490, which is the highest to date. The Nevis Island Administration continues its stance against crime and criminality. While speaking on Wednesday evening's edition of the first airing of the On the Mark program for 2019, Premier of Nevis, General Mark Brantley, made his administration's position clear on the issue. He also used the opportunity to urge young men to use their time to engage in meaningful activity.
I continue to appeal to our youngsters. If you want work, we will provide work. If you want to do something productive with your life, we will assist you in doing so. But equally, if we extend the hand to you, and when I say we, not only the government, but the private sector, the society, and you rebuff that and insist that you will embark and stay on a path of criminality, then the law will have to deal with you. I am not in any mood to cuddle criminals. Criminals, whoever they are, whether they're in high or low places, they give the country a bad name. Criminals and criminality have the potential to derail all the gains that we would have made.
Commendation was also given to officers of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force for their valiant efforts in trying to combat criminals and in keeping the community safe. The Premier also continued in his efforts to encourage the general public to cooperate with the law enforcement authorities in the fight against crime and violence in our Twin Island Federation.
We are calling on all who may have information, calling on the general public to cooperate with and assist our law enforcement, because at the end of the day, the police will never be able to do it alone. The government will never be able to do it alone. The opposition can talk, but they will never be able to do it alone. Indeed, they were themselves in government and did not have the answers. At the end of the day, it requires the society as a whole, you and I, in your homes, in your businesses, in your churches, in the schools, wherever you may be. You're the ones ultimately who are affected, and you're the ones ultimately who can make the difference.
The Honorable Mark Brantley. Acting Commissioner of Police here in St. Kitts and Nevis, Mr. Hilroy Brandy, has lauded police officers for their work last year. While delivering his remarks at the Commissioner's New Year's lecture earlier this week, Acting Commissioner Brandy noted that data gathered thus far suggested that the number of crimes reported were down, despite the challenges they faced with regards to crime-fighting efforts. Additionally, according to Mr. Brandy, the number of homicides was the same as 2017, and no homicides were recorded in the final months of 2018. Based on statistics from the police, 23 homicides were recorded for both 2017 and 2018. He warned, however, that it was not a time to become complacent, and stated that the force would place more emphasis on community policing this year. He also thanked the police officers for working extra duty and the Regional Security Service, RSS, for their assistance. And finally, the VON Newsline has received reports of a shooting incident which occurred in Sandy Point, St. Kitts. Reports say the incident occurred on Wednesday morning, January 9th at about 5:45. Circumstances surrounding the incident are not clear at this time, but it is understood that an unknown assailant or assailants attempted to shoot a bus driver who remains unnamed. Fortunately, based on confirmed reports, the driver was not in the bus, nor was he close by when the assailants opened fire. Police have also confirmed the incident and stated that no one was injured during the incident. The VON Newsline will provide more on this story as it develops. That's our national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com, or you can check us out on our social media page on Facebook at Von Radio and our Von Radio YouTube channel. News from across the region is next.
We know you have your personal as well as your business needs, and we're here to help. Our knowledgeable staff will work with you to help you achieve the financial success that you or your company needs in a competitive market. We offer solutions that make your banking experience easier, like our savings and checking accounts. Be sure to ask about our youth savers accounts and our Bank of Nevis Gold Club. We offer a wide range of personal loans, including mortgage, land, student, auto, and consumer loans. Have access to your funds instantly with our BeOnline internet banking and our debit and credit cards. We make international banking and investing easy. How's your business? Give it the leverage it really needs by letting the Bank of Nevis assist you with all the necessary funding for all your business expenses. It's that easy. What are you waiting for? The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life.
Like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Bank of Nevis.
Welcome back. Another regional news in detail. Out of Bermuda. Gun crimes dropped by nearly 45% in 2018. According to statistics provided by the government, there were 27 incidents last year which involved a firearm or where a firearm was recovered. The corresponding figure for 2017 was 49, and in 2016 it was 82. According to the numbers, there were 3 firearms-related fatalities and injuries last year, down from 9 in 2017 and 14 in 2016. Serious assaults also showed a drop at 32 last year, down from 37 in 2017 and 46 in 2016. Arrests for violent crime were up to 24 in 2018 from 22 in each of the 2 previous years. The figures were included in an update on anti-gang initiatives from Wayne Keynes, the Minister of National Security. Still in Bermuda. A second suspect has been arrested in connection to the murder of Bonico Burchal. A spokesman with the Bermuda Police Service said that a 24-year-old man had been taken into custody. Mr. Birchall, 30, was shot as he stood outside St. Davis County Cricket Club in the early hours of Saturday, December 29th, and died in hospital the next day. That was the country's final murder victim for 2018. Out of the Turks and Caicos Islands, TCI. The Dutch government in the Netherlands has added the TCI and 15 other countries to a tax haven blacklist. The jurisdictions listed have no corporation tax or a corporation tax rate of less than 9%, a press release from the government of the Netherlands stated. The 16 countries added to the list are in addition to 5 countries already blacklisted by the European Union: American Samoa, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, Samoa, and Trinidad and Tobago. UK Caribbean Overseas Territories Anguilla, the British Virgin Islands, and the Cayman Islands were among those added. Others include the Bahamas, Bermuda, Bahrain, Belize, Guernsey, Isle of Man, Jersey, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Vanuatu, and the United Arab Emirates. The list was published on December 28th in the Netherlands Government Gazette. Out of Suriname. Police in Suriname have confiscated a 2,500 kilogram cocaine shipment in Paramaribo. Entrepreneur Nintendo Emra Singh, who owns Nevash Rice, has been arrested. The major coke bust was made on Tuesday at the Jules Sydney port in the southern district of the capital. The drugs were hidden in 8 containers filled with rice, awaiting loading at the harbor from where they were being destined for France through Guadeloupe. Police report that members of the port's security department stumbled upon the shipment during their regular controls, after which they alerted the Narcotics Brigade of the Police Corps Suriname KPS. Police remained tight-lipped on the investigation and promised more information when it becomes prudent, but news reports say that businessman Nintendo Emra Singh, the consigning of the shipment, has been arrested by police in District Nickerie in the west of the country, where most rice farms are located. Police have hinted that more arrests will likely follow. The containers had already been screened and sealed off by customs before the contraband was found. And finally, out of Guyana. Almost 3 weeks after a shock no-confidence vote by government parliamentarian Sharandas Prasad saw the related motion carried, sparking a constitutional crisis, a key meeting was held yesterday in an effort to chart the way forward. According to President David Granger afterwards, broad agreements have been met that will set the conditions on how the government and parliament will continue to function. In the meantime, government will continue to pursue action in the courts, challenging the validity of the vote and whether the fact that Prasad's dual citizenship with Canada could have also affected the legality of it. Since the no-confidence vote on the evening of December 21st, both the government and opposition have been drawing battle lines, with the latter calling for elections to be announced and for the government to resign. However, there are indications based on the meeting and statements coming out after that early elections may not be so early after all. That's it for Original Stories. Stay with us for news from around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. The U.S. will use diplomacy and work with its partners to expel every last Iranian boot from Syria, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has vowed. Mr. Pompeo warned there would be no U.S. reconstruction assistance for areas controlled by President Bashar al-Assad until Iran and its proxies had left.
The United States under President Trump will remain a steadfast partner in the region for Egypt and others. We urge every country to take meaningful action to crush terrorism and denounce its ideological roots. You'll not fight these battles alone. Our robust battle against ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and other terrorist groups will continue.
He was speaking in Cairo 3 weeks after President Donald Trump announced U.S. troops were pulling out of Syria. The decision shocked U.S. allies and sparked strong criticism in Washington. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has walked out of a meeting with Democratic leaders as negotiations broke down on the 19th day of a partial U.S. government shutdown. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer stuck by their refusal to fund his U.S.-Mexico border wall, prompting Mr. Trump to call the meeting a total waste of time. Democrats again accused the president of throwing a temper tantrum. The first payday since the shutdown began is due on Friday for 800,000 federal workers who will go unpaid. Opposition candidate Felix Tshisekedi has won DR Congo's presidential election, electoral officials say. The announcement made overnight sparked accusations of an electoral coup from runner-up Martin Fayulu. The Catholic Church said that the result did not match data collected by its election monitors. Will Ross reports.
The fact that the Church is now saying the official result is different from its own tally will add to the suspicion that there's been foul play. The opposition's Felix Tshisekedi was declared the winner and his supporters are celebrating in the streets. But another opposition candidate, Martin Fayulu, feels he was cheated and may challenge the result at the Constitutional Court. It has been a divisive election, and there is a danger that tension and controversy could lead to protests, which in the past have been broken up violently by the police and military.
And finally, Lady Gaga has apologized for working with embattled R&B star R. Kelly and vowed to remove their duet, Do What You Want, from streaming services. It comes after the broadcast of a new documentary about Kelly, which detailed allegations of sexual and physical abuse against women and underage girls, spanning several decades. Gaga called the stories horrifying and indefensible, adding, "I stand behind these women 1,000%. Kelly has denied all the allegations. His lawyer also dismissed the documentary as another round of stories being used to fill reality TV time. And that's it for news segments. The latest in sports is next.
Most of us spend the better part of each weekday at the workplace. So why not make your office environment the kind of setting that helps you function at your personal best by outfitting it with top quality furniture, high-end photocopiers, printers, versatile office supplies, and the latest technology. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at the TDC Business Center are happy to provide you with personalized service to help you create an office space that's the total package. TDC Business Center, providing solutions that work.
Welcome back on Other Sports in Detail. In cricket. Cricket West Indies CWI selection panel yesterday, Wednesday 10th, named the CWI President's 11 squad to face England. Jamar Hamilton, the wicket-keeper batsman, has been named as captain, and the squad includes 6 players with test match experience. These are batsmen Sunil Ambrose, Jermaine Blackwood and Vishal Singh, all-rounder Reman Reefer, and fast bowler Azari Joseph and Miguel Cummins. The teams will meet in 2 two-day matches at the 3Ws Oval at the Cave Hill campus of the University of the West Indies. The first match will be played on January 15th and 16th, and the second match on January 17th and 18th. The full squad reads: Jamar Hamilton captain, Sunil Ambrose, Jermaine Blackwood, John Campbell, Brian Charles, Miguel Cummins, Sandra Paul Hemraj, Shamar Holder, Alzari Joseph, Raymond Weaver, Vishal Singh, and Devon Thomas. In more cricket. The International Cricket Council has announced an unprecedented 15-day amnesty as part of its investigation into corruption in Sri Lanka. The amnesty, which will run from 16th to 31st January, is the first of its kind held by cricket's world governing body. Failure to report an approach, incident, or information can result in a ban from cricket of up to 5 years, but those who come forward during the ICC amnesty with information on corrupt conduct, which they had previously failed to report, will not be charged. Last year, former Sri Lanka international players Sanath Jayasuriya, Nuwan Zoysa, and Dilhara Loki Hetej were charged by the ICC's anti-corruption unit as part of a wide-ranging investigation. In tennis. Law enforcement officials in Spain have arrested 28 professional tennis players in an investigation into match fixing. EU police agency Europol said that the players were among 83 people detained by Spain's civil guard. At least 97 ITF futures and challenger matches were fixed, it said. The arrest, which included one player who appeared at last year's US Open, follow an investigation into match fixing by an organized Armenian criminal gang. Europol said 11 house searches had been carried out in Spain, in which 167,000 euros in cash was seized, along with a shotgun, more than 50 electronic devices, credit cards, 5 luxury vehicles, and documentation related to the case. 42 bank accounts have also been frozen. None of the arrested people have been named. And finally, in football. Irresistible Manchester City scored 9 goals as they thrashed Burton Albion with an incredible display of attacking football in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final at Etihad Stadium. Gabriel Jesus scored 4, with Kevin De Bruyne, Alexander Zinchenko, Phil Foden, Kyle Walker, and Riyad Mahrez also scoring against Nigel Clough's beleaguered League One side. This was the first time in more than 31 years that City had scored more than 8 goals in a single match. They beat Huddersfield Town 10-1 in a second-tier league encounter in November 1987. It means City has scored 16 goals in 4 days after thrashing Rotherham United 7-0 in the third round of the FA Cup on Sunday. And that's it for sports. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back. And now the local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weather tonight will be mostly fair with a 20% or slight chance of showers. Weather tomorrow will be mainly sunny with a 20% or slight chance of showers. Winds are southeast at 11 to 22 kilometers per hour or 6 to 12 knots and becoming lighter and variable mainly overnight. Seas are 1.2 to 1.5 meters or 4 to 5 feet. Sunrise tomorrow would be at 6:43 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the mid-news package for today, Thursday, 10 January 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, national weight loss campaign to be launched here on Nevis, and radiation therapy to begin here in Nevis, according to urologist Dr. Dwayne Thwaites. Regionally, Bermuda government highlights drop in gun crime. Internationally, U.S. to expel every last Iranian boot from Syria, so says U.S. Secretary of State. And in sports, Hamilton to lead cricket West Indies Presidents 11 against England. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tashan Tyson, wishing you